Welcome back to the second part of the tutorial for downloading and setting up Everquest to use on the SoH server. And where we left off, we had created the EQ-EMU folder on the C drive. And inside that folder, we created the EQ-EMU Rain of Fire folder. Inside of that folder, if your download went properly, or your unzips rather went properly, you should have a total of 4,147 items, and you'll see a bunch of folders followed by a bunch of files. What we need to do next is add the files and folders specifically for the emulated server. To do that, I have provided links in at the SoH site under Basic Tutorials, and it's starting from the beginning, Part 2, down, and I got the basic instructions here on what to do, and we want to download the SoH spell USA.txt or us.txt. So we'll click on that one, and then we will click on download. And we will also click on the zone files. And we need this zone files because over the years, the live server has changed quite a few of the zones. So we need to change the zones back to a earlier version that is usable with the EQ-EMU. And then on this file, we need to click the download anyways. And we'll close these out. And once they're done downloading, as we see, the spells file is already downloaded. We will take those files. We can click on here and do show in folder, and we will right click and extract all and browse to our EQ-EMU Rain of Fire 2 folder and select folder and extract. And if it asks you if you want to replace the files in the destination, you want to click yeah. Make sure that replace the files in the destination are replaced. All right, and then we've got to wait for the zone files to finish downloading. So I will be back when they are done. All right, so our zone files is done downloading. So we'll right click on it, and if you don't have this folder already, you can go to show in folder and then right click and extract all. Go to browse, select our Rain of Fire folder and extract. All right, now that that is done, we don't need that anymore. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to check to make sure our eqhost.txt file is got the proper stuff in it. And this is mostly important if you downloaded Everquest from another place and you need to have the host file read that host equals login to eqemulator.net 5999. To do that, we will go to our Rain of Fire folder, and we'll scroll down until we get to EQ host, and then right click and edit. And as we can see, that it is properly set up. If you had to make changes to it, which you could simply do by copying the second line here, where it says the second line should read, you can just copy that and go to the EQ host, file, and paste. And there you go. And then file, save, and we can close that. The second thing we need to do is edit our create a shortcut. I have a shortcut created already. Let me just delete that. We need to create a shortcut for our EQ game executable. And for those of you that maybe don't know, in modern Windows directories, the .exe files are identified by the word application on the right here. So this is the EQ game executable, and it is an application. So we'll right click on that, and we will create a shortcut. Create shortcut, and it creates a shortcut for us. And we'll right click on that EQ game shortcut, and then click on properties. And we're looking here at the target string. At the end of the target string, you should have patch me in there. Okay. So normally it should look like this. And then after the .exe, we'll do a space and then type in patch me, P-A-T-C-H-M-E, all in lowercase, and then apply and click OK. And now our Everquest directory is ready to log into Everquest. But before we do that, we want to go back a directory, and we want to make a copy of this so that way, if anything ever gets messed up, we have a original copy. So right click on the Rain of Fires folder and copy, and then paste. And this may take a while, as it is almost 9 gigabytes. So I will be back when it's done. All right, so our copy is done. And now we're going to rename it. So right click on it, rename, and we're going to change this to an underscore ORG. So we have two files here, and this one with the underscore ORG. We are going to consider our original file, and this is good so that if you accidentally log into the live server and it changes your working folder here, then you have a backup so that you don't have to go through this whole process again. And also, just so you know, we can create more copies, as I stated when we were creating login server accounts. You will eventually want to use multiple accounts. So in future tutorials, we will cover that. But it's basically you just copy the original folder and paste it and rename it. So you can have as many copies as you want now with your one license that you got from Steam. All right, so let's see if we can log in. You double click on your working folder and scroll down to your shortcut. And you can put your EQ game shortcut anywhere you want. For example, you can put it on the desktop. And let's scroll down here to the ease. We're looking for EQ game. All right, and our shortcut, this is what we're going to click on to make the game work. And like I said, you can put this anywhere you want. Most people put it on the desktop, so we can say send to desktop, and it will have created a copy of EQ game shortcut on the desktop. Now all you have to do is double click on the shortcut, and Everquest starts. And you'll click accept the user agreement. Click on the Sony screen and then log in. And here you will type in your login server username that you created at the EQ emulator. And the one I entered was Sword of Hawk. And once you get into the server select, you'll scroll down until you see Sword of Hawks. Right here, Sword of Hawks. And you click on that and then play Everquest. Now, by default, the sound is turned off, but you can turn it on later. And we'll cover that in the next tutorial. And also we'll cover character creation in the next tutorial as well. All right, so I've already been in here and created a character. I don't want that one, so let's just delete it, yes. All right, so this is the character creation screen. And you will click on create character. And for starters, and for simplicity, I would suggest that for now you click on human, and I'll go over that in the next tutorial. And you can select either male or female, whichever you prefer. And then you got a number of classes you can click on. I will also go over some of that in future tutorials. For now, I'm just going to create a warrior and a random name and enter world. Also, make sure the tutorial here is selected and enter world. And we will be entering the Mines of Glooming Deep. And the Mines of Glooming Deep is a place for newbies, beginners to just run around and practice. And when you open the screen, you have a whole bunch of screens here that you can use. Some of these you can close. Some of them you may not want to. This Join the Revolution is some basic directions. And so welcome to the revolt. You have been given 2 new quests. Rally with whatever his name is. If you're ready to begin fighting for the revolt, hail guard, Radget, and see what you are needed. And basic training. Now, this basic training will really help you understand the mechanics of the game. So you will want to do that. So and we'll cover that in the next tutorial. But we can close that. This voice bar, we can close it as well, or just kind of throw it up out of the way. And the journal quest. This is a list of all the journals you currently have. This is helpful, and we can get back to it at a later date. So let's close it. And all the rest of them that are left, you are going to want to keep on your screen so that you can see them. And so you'll want to go and arrange these into a manner that is pleasing to you. I will arrange them the way I like them in the next tutorial. And in the meantime, you can run around. Now, one thing I do want to point out before we move on to the next tutorial, over here underneath this waterfall is a cave, and it takes you to the plane of knowledge. Now, the reason that I told you to choose a human is because it'll take you to the plane of knowledge. There are some characters that go to their home city, and that can cause you some frustration if you don't know the mechanics of the game yet. So try not to go through that cave until you have an understanding of what's going on. All right. So let me just pop over here to Ares, which is where we want to start at the next tutorial. To exit the game, you click on Camp. And it takes 30 seconds to camp out. And I will see you guys shortly after I've camped out. All right, so after you've camped out, it brings you back to the character creation screen. And then you can click Quit. And then Cancel. And then Exit. And are you sure you want to exit? And the answer in this case is yes. All right, we'll see you all in the next tutorial.